Okay, I'll shut up. It told me to shush. Hey. Is that a slideshow?
All right. Hello again, everyone. Hard to know, is that a mining video or like a Nike pump up video? Either way, I think mission accomplished. All right, I'm super excited. I'm going to introduce John.
Slides show up, so.
Yeah, those are coming here. Looks like we got. We're growing. Numbers growing. So we got a few people in. All right, folks. Well, I'm excited to introduce John. I could
probably talk in the meantime about Niger Cosmos and what we're trying to achieve, which is that we started as a business focusing on Nigeria to start with at ground zero. We're moving out from that into the wider, you could call it global south. So if you look at the map of Nigeria there, you can see an X, right? That's Nigeria. So we're moving out from that. So that's a concept of Niger Cosmos. And we're moving out from that to the global south. And we've got a combination focus on doing a lot of at-cost activities to promote the global south and Nigeria. And then we have to sometimes do some for-profit ones as well in order to make a little bit of money to keep ourselves going. So if you look at the bottom right, you will see the red area, which is the global south, right? And then the X is on Nigeria, which is where we're starting from. And if we could go to the next slide, please. So yeah, we started with Niger Cosmos, which was a Web3 domain for a country, right? We started with Nigeria, and that was a new concept for us. We have to thank Tom Barrett at Encirca for that, because he helped us make it happen. And that was our first exposure to Web3 domains and to the Handshake ecosystem. So we were kind of young then. We've learned an awful lot then. Since then, we're moving on, right? Let's have the next slide. Yeah, so, right, the next thing we did, which was also groundbreaking and was all over the media, was we decided to incorporate ourselves in a blockchain everywhere and nowhere. And we did that by releasing Handshake domains as shares in the business, which is something nobody ever did before. So you can go and buy shares in Niger Cosmos, right, by just buying the Handshake domains, because we're really, really looking at ways we can do things differently. You can move on. So yeah, we're thinking about a lot of new things, right, about the way things have been over the last couple of years. A lot of people have got really ripped off. A lot of wallets, a lot of exploits, problems, different rip-offs, pump and dumps, rug pulls, a whole load of stuff going on. And there's a lot of new things happening now with the prices of tokenizing going down really, really fast, as we can see on some of these things in the Ethereum ecosystem. And it's kind of good in a way, but it's also kind of bad in a way, because it means that phishing attacks are going to be an awful lot easier. A lot of other stuff's going to be not a lot easier to, hacks, different things going to be easier. Yeah, it's not good. It's good in a way. Sometimes it's not good. What do you think, Migs? Migs, you still there? Hey, okay. Next slide.
Here we go. I think they wanted, I was removed to alleviate the clutter, but I've been reading about this morning. This is, I mean, it's, like you said, it's a double-edged sword. Huge for adoption, but there's a reason that blockchains are designed the way that they are, proof of work and costs associated. So we'll have to see how it plays out, but right now it seems to be a lot of enthusiasm from the masses.
Yeah, I agree. Enthusiasm, but let's see what way it works, right? Yeah, so let's go on to our next product, right? Which is an idea that I had. And thing behind it is that what we have is we have a double component product, right? So we've got these really brilliant artwork, which is going through tons and tons of processes to get the quality really high. And it's based on a sisterhood of female pirate warriors, right, who operated off the East Asian seas between 1100 and 1700 AD. But teamed with that, we have a handshake domain, right, which is a symbol, a single symbol. There you got it up in the corner, right? It looks a little bit like Chinese or East Asian. It's got those kind of brush strokes, but it's not actually a word. It's a Punicode domain, right, on the Handshake blockchain. And it's just like one symbol, and there is a narrative there, very deep narrative, hooking the images to the domains. And it's there. Each Sino Amazon has one, and it's their oath and bond, and they've got it tattooed on their body. So you have these two parts to the same product, and they operate on two completely different blockchains. All right. On to the next slide, please. Stay watching. Next slide. All right. So these are two other examples, right, of the Sino Amazons with Sinosignias, right? And this NFT component, right, is like top quality, right? It's been through like about 20 different processes, right? And we can actually recover if it ever gets stolen and broken into on any kind of EVM system. We can actually recover it on Handshake. It's really, really cool. Can we get the next slide, please? So there on the top, this is just underlining the quality of this product. Look, up on the top, this is the final stage that we go through in making these images. You can see big long line of attempts to make it to make the product work, right? And then you've got underneath, you've got a life cycle of a domain, which is like, takes 10 days. So this is like very, very mature product. You want to come in there, Migs?
Yeah. I think I'm following you so far. It seems what I wanted to know was that domain is a top level domain. Each one is a
yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is. Single character.
Okay. And so this is like an anchoring association mechanism for the artwork, right? Exactly. If I'm understanding correctly, that you can trace across any series of chains.
Yes, you're right.
Okay.
Perfectly.
Okay. Then I'm following along all right so far.
Absolutely. Let's go on to the next slide. So here you actually got ahead of me there, because this is where I'm showing you, right? And here I'm actually using Bob Wallet, and I'm actually showing you how this happens, right? So you go into the managing domains, right? You go into the part where you add a text record, right? Then you, after you've minted the artwork, you put in the hash for the mint into the record on the Handshake domain, right? And then that's just going to get minted in the next block, right? There's absolutely no need for any kind of smart contract, any kind of bridge, anything like that. Nothing that can be hacked through. It's on the Handshake blockchain that this particular domain owns that piece of art, and they're locked together permanently, right? So, and it can't be, they're in two different, because Handshake wallets and other kinds of wallets, right? They're not in the same place. It's really, really cool in terms of security, and it's just a fun piece of stuff as well. Can we have the next slide? Yeah. So there we got this. Nathan did this one. This is an example of one that was done on OpenSea. Right. So that's an actual result of one that's done. So there you got the image. That's like a really high definition image. Right. Been through about 9 or 10 processes to get that far. Really high quality product. That one was minted on Optimism, right? Went through the same process. And this down in the bottom is the Sinosignia, which is a Handshake domain, right? And they're both together. You got it? Let's go to the next one. And there is the proof of the pudding. You can go to Miami. Hi, Stefan. Yeah, you can go to Miami and you can actually check by putting in either the Puni code or the character into Miami. You can check and you will actually see at the bottom the same text record, which represents the hash that is the image, as in the high definition, which is the Sino Amazon. You have any questions there?
If we have questions, QA is probably the best place to throw them in. For me, no, I think it's fantastic. Yeah. Is there a reason why we're I do have actually two questions, maybe for clarification. One is, the art is great. The processes are to make the quality of the art exceptional, which it accomplishes. But that is that's a feature, that's an artistic feature, right? That doesn't have anything. It doesn't have to be that type of artwork. It could be something maybe simpler than a photo like this.
You're right. You're right. You're perfectly right. And I think that's a key aspect of where we need to think as a community on Handshake, which is where I'm going with these ideas, right? Which is, how can we actually use Handshake domains as a token in addition to them being domains, and broaden out the perception of it without necessarily, because, I've had a lot of people tell me, no, the Handshake blockchain can't do this, can't do that, can't do something else. You can't do it technically, right? Because of different, and some people get a little bit upset. But we've got a line there, which we have at one end, we have a token that's on the Handshake blockchain that isn't a coin. Linked to that, we have a domain. And then beyond the domain, we have the public and what they want to use them for. So sometimes we need to go backwards and start with the token that's on the blockchain and reach outwards rather than actually starting with the use case and reaching inwards. And that's the way I've been thinking with these. That's the way that I've been thinking about Punicode. Most of these characters, I didn't start with a character. I started with manipulating Punicode and say, well, does this actually produce something? And put it into the system. And yes, it is something, and it's not even an auction that's started yet. And that's how I got all of these characters. That's also how the approach that I had when I decided to mint Niger Cosmos as a business on the blockchain rather than making it sovereign. So I think you're thinking really in the right way, that there are other things that we can do, moving things around, looking at the way that we can package things without actually changing the blockchain itself. Is that what you're thinking about? Oh.
It is. It draws parallel. My mind's been going in that direction lately. Not to be confused with this Cosmos, but earlier this week I inscribed the Handshake white paper onto the Cosmos Hub blockchain, which is and that's a PDF, right? It's not artwork. So that was something to think about. A question I wanted to ask. We have about 3 minutes left. Was why exclusively Punicode? Does it have to be symbols? Can we use words?
Not really, but it's like the easiest way to get volume on a single character. Because, like, you know, I can't afford to be doing .n, .a, .1, right? So, and if it's the dynamic of the narrative and a whole load of other things, because, you know, they're supposed to be East Asian characters and East Asian warriors. So,
any reason why I can't associate multiple pieces of artwork to one TLD?
That's a discussion for Sinosignias too, which you'll have to bear with me on that one. Can we move to the next slide? Right. So yeah, that's the last one really, which is saying that, you know, these are also examples of other characters that we've got, and there's a whole load of other. This is a run of 1,000, which is a basic run, and we're going to be airdropping about 110 of these for free, and they took like about a year and 4 months to do, between getting all the domains and doing all the artwork. So they're a high quality product. So as soon as this is finished with and it's put on YouTube or wherever, I'm going to add places where you can go and move to get the airdrops. So you can look out for those. Yeah, makes. I know you're going to want one though. I know
airdrop on Handshake. You heard that right. Of course, I want one, not just one.
No, you can't get more than one. Makes no one. Yeah.
I mean, one for me, one for Squeaky back there. But no, this is super exciting. I think this line of thinking is one I would challenge everybody who's a fan of Handshake to consider. There are different ways we can. Forward is one thing, backwards is another, and sometimes backwards is forwards. And this is a different way of thinking about the blockchain that Handshake is and using it. So I thank you so much for the time, John. This is fantastic.
Thank you for having me, Mix. You've been really cool today.
Thank you. Yeah. Best place to connect on X, Twitter, whatever.
Yeah. I'm not there much, but thanks though.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Quick reminder: Handshake's decentralized. We got Twitter, we got X, we got Discord. Everything's on there. Telegram. So please add everyone on everything. We have a question here. I feel like we're going to get kicked off. No worries if you missed something. Eskimo, we're going to have recordings as always. And
yeah, Jordan, I'm going to steal all those guitars, man.
Watch out, Jordan. He's got a vicious guard dog, so you gotta be careful.
He's got a major collection of guitars there. I know it.
Multi-talented. He speaks code in multi-language. All right, everyone. We're wrapping it up. A lot more events coming. Hope you're sticking around for us for some of those, John, and we'll be seeing everyone in the next sessions.
Yeah. Thank you, Mix. Thank you so much.